What's up, guys? Rio Pesino for SportsGamerShow. Very first episode, and to kick things off, I'm going to give you my review of Fight Night Champion. Now, there are a couple new features that are supposed to make Fight Night Champion stand out against other versions of the game and other boxing games in general. One being the new control scheme, and two being the highly touted brand new story mode. But are these new features enough to make Fight Night Champion worth the $60? Watch the review to find out.
What is that?
Ammonia. That shit'll wake you right up.
What did he hit me with?
His head. He's a penitentiary, son. That rip ain't gonna do shit but count somebody out, which means you got to knock that cracker on his ass, yeah? Now you got one round. Knock the fucker on his ass.
Knock the fuck on his ass.
This is how you begin Fight Night Champion, which is a great way to introduce gamers to the new story mode. This new feature, along with the new analog punching system, is supposed to make Fight Night Champion stand out from past Fight Night games. But is it enough? Fight Night Champion does an excellent job of simulating the sweet science of boxing, from the spot-on graphics to the controls. In real life, boxing is all about controlling the ring, and in Fight Night Champion, the new controls allow you to do just that. There's no complex analog stick moves. Now, every punch is thrown by flicking the stick quickly in a certain direction. What used to be a half-circle motion for an uppercut is now relegated to pressing down on the right stick. The new system results in a more fast-paced fight and eliminates the frustration of having to input complex motions with the right stick to throw a simple punch. But don't think you can mash your way to victory with the simplified controls. It may be easier to put together punch combinations, but the penalty of exhausting your boxer by button or stick mashing is severe. Other control changes include replacing the haymaker punch with a modifier to add power to any punch, a simplified blocking scheme, and a new stamina endurance system. Simplifying the gameplay makes it easier to grasp, allowing you to focus on what's most important, which is boxing.
This guy's got a mean left hook. He's gonna try and catch you with it early.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Styles make fights, and in Fight Night Champion, this phrase rings true. You can choose to fight recklessly, but with the addition of flash knockouts and the fact that fighting smart rewards you with stamina and damage recovery, you may want to think twice about wailing away at the sticks. I've had matches where I was winning early on, fighting aggressively in the early rounds, but ended up losing in the later rounds because my fighter was gassed. Your best bet is to balance the two and play to your specific fighter's strengths. The AI is smart and fight like their real-life counterparts. For example, Muhammad Ali plays with you, while Mike Tyson tries to destroy you from close range. Fighters react well to situations as well. If the AI is losing on points late, they might become more aggressive. If they're hurt, they're often overly protective. As a result, every match feels different.
That's what champions do. They get back up.
Now, although these are some great improvements, there's one thing that's always been missing from the Fight Night series, and that's the story and suspense that make boxing stand out. EA Sports has attempted to recreate this with their new story mode, which brings new life into a generally straightforward experience. Champion mode has you living out the dramatic career of Andre Bishop. The 5-hour story is a seamless mix of cutscenes and boxing matches. The story is incredibly compelling and is reminiscent to some of the great boxing movies out today. The storyline adds meaning to matches, whether it's letting your fist go on a white supremacist face in prison, winning gold at the Amateur World Championships, or making your in-ring debut as a professional fighter. The story adds a refreshing new element to Fight Night, and that's the dramatics of the sport. Now, if only everything else felt the same way. The rest of Fight Night Champion feels like previous iterations of the game. Legacy mode is back and is essentially the same, but with the addition of having a budget to fund your career. You can pay to train at better facilities and earn money through sponsorships. Otherwise, there's not much else to see here. In addition, the training modes are a chore and become tedious fairly quickly. You're better off starting your career online. You can create a boxer and bring him up in the online ranks. The setup is clever and well done. Players can create their own gyms, which others can join, and there are tournaments as well as regular online bouts, and of course you can test your skills against the best online. So in the end, here's the breakdown. The good, Fight Night Champion has a great story mode, great control scheme, top-notch graphics, and online play. The bad, there's that tedious training mode and stale legacy mode. And the ugly, besides the new controls and story mode, pretty much everything else feels like the same old Fight Night. Well, that's it for the first episode of Sports Gamer Show. If you want more content, make sure to go to the website sportsgamershow.com and make sure to follow Sports Gamer Show on Twitter at Sports Gamer Show and become a fan on the new Facebook fan page. I'm Rio Pesino for Sports Gamer Show, and I'll see you next time.